Hey everybody, welcome to YouTube, not them tube. This is a genuine YouTube presentation. My name is David. I am filming from my lovely backyard. Let me give you a little 360 view from this primitive iPhone. I have not been able, that's the in glass door. So yeah, look at the sky. Ain't she a beaut? A little cloudy today. Really hot, obviously. The car thermometer said 94. The weather channel said 91. What this phone says, I ain't got no clue, and I'm about to look because I am recording. Mom and dad are back. They came back last evening from their little mini holiday. They got to spend some time with their grandkids. I'm very happy for them. With Sophie and Sebi. So now I'm back to being with them, which I'm happy about. I love being with my parents, but I do have to admit, not only are my parents on holiday right now, so is my better half and my daughter. They're both on holiday as well too. They went to go see my mom's-in-law. As I've explained it to you guys, we don't really talk. Probably for the best, anyways, because a problem that occurs is that my better half, let's just say, she can talk. All right, she's a talker. So you could say, hey, look how beautiful the sky is. It's nice and cloudy out today, and she'll be like, nice and cloudy? I don't see a cloud in the sky. It's just blue. There's not a single cloud. Right to your face. And she'll sell it to you. She can go to the Queen of England. She could put dog poop in two little, well, she could have gone to the Queen of England, bless her soul. Could have put dog poop inside of paper bags, put them on the hook, and sold them to her as earrings. Okay? She's pretty talented. But herein that lies the problem. Give the communication factor. Let's say I say XYZ to her, right? She'll go and tell her mom ABC, right? Which is exactly not what I said. I said XYZ. Then her mom thinks that I said ABC, and then all of a sudden this whole ordeal happens where, and another thing that she likes to do is to back up her side of the story, because a lot of times the things that she say are so sensational that any rational human being would be like, would actually just stop listening, to be honest, because it's like that's pretty much what we've came to. the same, it actually went full circle. Dad told me one day, stop talking to her, don't listen to a word she has to say, because she's got plenty to say. Okay, you think what I'm saying is something? If you heard what things that she said, oh, forget about it. Also, what I say you can turn off at any time. She puts me underwater all the time. If I went to court and I pled the fifth, she'd probably win, just because, one, she's a great actress. She could make herself cry on the go over something so. Well, I don't know exactly what her technique is. Maybe she's thinking of something else, but she'll cry while she's saying what she's talking about, and it'll be something so petty that it's like, are you really crying right now? And I kind of want to cry because I want to be empathetic, but remember I told you guys that I don't cry anymore. I don't think my tear ducts work anymore. But I actually do remember, I think the last time I legitimately cried, because I told the lady at the doctor's office yesterday, which, thanks by the way for the donation, guys. I mean, not thank you, CD. Thank you, also CD, the CDLP. Also, I cannot, you know, I apologize for even saying the fact that wasn't enough. That was more than plenty. Just to have one soul, just one soul to be able to think of you and consider you a friend, that's a blessing. So I apologize. If I could take back my words, I would. I just was wishing that I would have been able to get donations so that I wouldn't have had to have done what I did, which, whatever. What's said is said, what's done is done. Now, so yeah, back to my better missus. She's a beautiful young lady. Just the other day, she said that she got over me. I was really proud of her because she still got plenty of youth in her. She could get with any guy. Me, the only girl I can talk to her is her. I can't even talk to another girl, even if I wanted to. I mean, I could just say like little small talk, but I've never been one to go up to girls. I mean, except for like one time in my life, but I regretted that time. After I went through that time where, you know, I realized like how easy it is to get into girls' pants. I said to myself, I'm like, you know what? I'm tired of all this meaningless sex. It's led me nowhere. I feel unhappy, and you know that's why I wanted to stop. When I first met my better missus, I was actually going through that phase. I had been 6 months, not as an insult, but as a voluntary, I would guess you would call it a vocel, a voluntarily celibate person. But at that time, I had gone 6 months. And when I mean 6 months, I may have had some lustful thoughts, but I did not, you know, touch my nether regions or, you know, masturbate. I guess it's a more formal way to do it. I did not have any type of, you know, relations at all. I was just trying to avoid that temptation so I could maybe try to find out a little bit more about myself. But then, you know, something happened, and then, you know, we ended up getting together through time. Took a while because I was trying to avoid it in the beginning, but I'm not gonna say that I regret it because I love her and I'm gonna love her till the day that I die, and that's that. What I just thought about whomever you are out there and thought that I was thinking that. Yes, I was. Anyways, so today's Friday. If yesterday was yesterday the 20th, I think today's the 21st. It is approximately 1,100 hours, maybe 1,200 hours. I'm not sure. And I want to make this video tonight. Messi is debuting with Inter Miami. I believe they're playing a Mexican team according to Dad, which, again, the source of this is the king, my father. He said that it's a Mexican team. He doesn't know why they're in the MLS. I think it's like an exhibition game, in my opinion, because I read an article that said Messi is not supposed to initially start his MLS career until August. So the fact that he's starting now in July is something else. And also, not to be ignored, Women's World Cup is happening right now as we speak. It's a split country. FIFA decided to do it with Australia and New Zealand. New Zealand is probably one of the few countries in the list, in my bucket list. Other ones being like Uruguay, Chile, Peru, Nicaragua, because a good friend of mine got deported there. I would like to try to see if I can find her, but that's not a biggie. That's not one of my debut. As far as the states go, New York, but really for the city, I really don't care for the other part. Nowhere near California. Too expensive, too overhyped. I just saw a video the other day about these people who travel to San Francisco. Nothing but homeless people, street after street. And the problem will never go away. I saw this on YouTube. Again, this sources come from YouTube. They The reason why homelessness won't go away is because the government funds organizations to help against the homeless. Now, if these organizations were to use all of those funds and really help the homeless like they're supposed to, where are they going to get the funds for the following year? They're not. So, as you can see where I'm going with this, instead of actually solving the problem, they maybe put like a little band-aid over it, maybe help a couple people, and then the rest, even though it might be a non-profit, trust me, these people make profits. The guy who ran, there's a chain of hospitals in South Broward, Memorial Hospital. Memorial Hospital is a non-profit. This guy is a millionaire, and his bonuses are like, forget about it. Guy probably has a house in Southwest Ranches, living the life, working for a non-profit, meanwhile making stack of dough. I wouldn't consider him wealthy, but he sure is a millionaire. He's a millionaire for sure. He's got 50 plus million in the bank. And back to the point of the whole video. Mom, dad went on holiday, which was really more like spending time with their grandkids, like I mentioned. I don't want to say their names again. My daughter and my better half went on holiday, so I was essentially home by myself for a few days, which it was a holiday on its own. I could not describe to you. I mean, I could try, but just put it this way: imagine not having asked to do anything from nobody, just being by yourself. I mean, some people don't like it. I never liked it. My good friend Jane Dones, bless her soul, she bless her spirit, she was a loner. She was always a loner. She even told me, she's like, David, you're probably one of my only friends that I have, if not the only friend that I have, but I need some alone time now. She would even tell me to my face. She said she likes being by herself better than she likes being around other people. And I always admired her for that, because I was never like that. I had a place of my own one time, and what I should have done was get a dog. Instead, what I did was, my mother-in-law lost her housing. She needed a place to stay. I let her stay in the house. And at the same time, the other lady whom she was living with, Cynthia Smith, I believe her name is, also lost her housing. So, oops, I shouldn't have said her name out loud. I apologize. So I ended up letting them two live there. During this time, my better half was out on the streets, where I really did not want her in the house, because like I said, I did not want her anywhere around, but I knew she was trouble. But I even went through the trouble of locking my doors, locking the gate. This was a nice little property. It was an efficiency, but it had its own front yard. It looked almost like it was his own house, but when you go inside, you could just tell it was an efficiency. She ended up jumping the fence, coming up to the window and start knocking on the window so she could come inside. By that time, I was helpless. But now I learned my lesson. If you're living on your own, do not even tell a soul. Don't let anyone know where you live. Keep it private. Do not tell a single soul. Get yourself a pet. I would never get myself another pet, because the last pet that I lost, the most beautiful dog ever, it was a rescue dog. She was going to have to be given to the pound because it belonged to a couple that I knew, Sammy and Jennifer. Jennifer just happens to be Cynthia's niece. It was their dog, and they were splitting up. So essentially, the dog had no place to go. It was a puppy at that time. It was probably like 3 months old. Most beautiful dog. It was a blue-eyed, red-nosed pit bull. The most beautiful dog you could imagine. People left and right complimenting me on it, asking me if I wanted to breed her, because of course I wasn't gonna, take her reproductive organs away. That I don't believe in that. If you have a dog, just don't let it mate with another dog. If they're in the wild and nobody's taking care of them, and if the Humane Society wants to do it, that's up to them. That dog is, essentially, it's treated like an animal, because let's just face it, that's what differentiates us from human beings from animals. The fact that we try to be civil, we try to have a society with norms, and we try to confine to those norms. That way, we're a part of society and we're educated. That's what differentiates us from essentially just being an animal. We try our best to control our impulses, to try to do right and try to do well, try to be empathetic towards others, try to help others, and trust me, there are a lot of good people out there. I've seen it with my own two eyes. Um, for the most part, a lot of them a lot of other people that I meet that are usually that they give good aura, good energy. They have a strong relationship with their, I'm gonna say their higher power, because that's how we're taught in the groups. Or you can say God, you can say Allah, one and the same. If you're in a monotheistic religion, it's just one God. Now, if you're over in India, forget about it. They worship cows. And also India, I think it was as of March this year, finally overpassed China in population count. So India is one place. China was already one place I would never want to go. With the anxiety that I suffer, I could never be there. Colombia is different. Colombia is a little overcrowded and there's a lot of people, but that's my home. That's where I come from. So there I feel comfortable because essentially I'm just like every other person. So I don't stand out. I'm just me. I mean, I do stand out sometimes because over there they dress a little bit more formal. Like, for instance, here in the U.S., it's normal to see women dressed up like they're going to the gym, wearing spandex and wearing sports bra. You don't see that shit in Colombia. That's considered kind of inappropriate. That's something you wear when you go to the gym. Then after you're done with the gym, you take a shower, and then you get back to your regular clothes. Most people wear, like jeans, tucked in shirt, usually like a polo shirt, or if you're a professional, if you're in Bogota, forget about it. Bogota, everybody wears what's called un entero, which is just, the jacket, the tie, the shirt, everything. You see, the bus is, if you're going to a bus in Bogota, everybody's dressed like they're going into business, like they're going to work, and they are. That's where you got all of their skyscrapers, or rascacielos, like how they like to call them. And that's also where you also have a lot of poverty too. One of the things that struck me that really hurt my heart when I was there was seeing the people that live in the sewers. And these are young kids too. These are, for the most part, kids that were orphans and they don't want to live in an orphanage, because the orphanage over there are usually run by the church, and believe me, they have strict rules. Maybe some of them, a lot of them suffer from addiction, and they homeless. They do whatever they do to try to. Don't get me wrong, I got robbed a couple times when I was in Colombia, but that's because I was at the wrong place at the wrong time. Can you blame me? I was in my 20s, I was an idiot. I put my personal part inside anything that moves. That's how stupid I was. But that's in the past. It does affect me now, but in a good way, because it taught me that you need to respect your body, and that's one of the reasons why I wanted to become a vocel. Because until I meet the right person, I wanted to be completely celibate, to save myself for the right one. And I've actually been doing that now too, because even though the missus is my missus, I want us to be in fully recover, because even though it's been 5 years since I've done any type of illicit, like, I was gonna say medicine, because drugs are essentially the medication too, just but people abuse them. But there has been moments where you could say maybe I abused one of my medications, but in my defense, they need to prescribe me more. They actually took me off of one this month, but I didn't get a chance to speak to the actual doctor. It was a person at the front desk. But really needs to be every 6 hours I get prescribed that minimum. But enough about that. Nobody wants to hear about that. Getting back to the point. or what I want to make this video. So my parents were on holiday. My daughter and my better missus were on holiday, so I was home by myself. And let me tell you something. Being by yourself is the most underrated thing I could think of. Because as most of you know, I live in the house where essentially I have the voices of 3 beautiful young ladies in my ear, each one of them with a different demand. I have the queen, I have my queen, and I have the princess. So all day long, it's just do this. I may start doing this, and while I'm doing this, I get told to do this too. I have to tell that person, please, after I do this. It's just constantly all day, oh, the princess is hungry. Oh, can you please clean this for me? Oh, can you please do this for me? And it's just, I'm not complaining. I love it. That's my life. I'm grateful. And it's actually a blessing, having to be able to do servitude to someone else. That's a blessing. So anybody, just like how when you give, the person who gives is really the one who is getting. It's the same thing. When you serve someone or do something for them, you're actually the one that's reaping the reward. And that is so true. I cannot overstate that. Don't forget that, people. Servitude. That's why I think housewives are the ones who really run this world. Or I guess house husbands nowadays too, because society has changed. But, because as long as they do their daily duties, like that is one thing that I did do while everybody was away, because partly because I'm OCD, but partly because I don't like seeing dirt in the house. I did vacuum every day. I mopped twice. I made a new cube. Also, changed the water out. I mopped 2 different occasions. It was only like 4 or 5 days that I was by myself. What else did I do? No, I did that before they left. That's the lawn. I cut the lawn. There's still more stuff that I can do, and there's more that I wish I could do that I could tape. One thing that I did have to do is when I try to fix Survivor, I forgot the wooden stick that I used, which is a shish kebab stick. Now I know the name. I forgot to kind of plant it firmly into the ground. So the tree, when I saw it today, was kind of bent. Let me show you guys exactly what I did. Hey everyone, welcome to the great outdoors, or the front yard, because I was outside already. Alright, let me start by showing you guys off Survivor. I fixed it already. What I did was I put the stick down in the ground, because when I woke up this morning, since I didn't stick the stick in the ground, it was already tilting that way. And I want to try to keep it upright so that hopefully, I'm not sure how it's going to work, but hopefully inside the root system, inside this little trunk, they'll be able to maybe regenerate so that it'll end up staying upwards. That's what I'm hoping for. So it's getting a little help from our friend there, from our little shish kebab friends. This is the original tree, which I stepped over by accident when I was cutting the lawn the other day. And I'm also thinking of widening the circle around it, even though it's already kind of wide. But I want to be able to give it all the room possible to grow, like you see, like these right here, these pieces of grass. I also don't like these little things that grow around it. Okay, so there we have Survivor. Here's 22nd. I think I need to take them out of their pots so that they're able to grow. Obviously, after a while, their roots are going to get too big for these little pots. But the only problem is I can't just plant an avocado tree anywhere, because then as soon as it matures and it starts giving fruit, I'm going to be having avocados all over the place. And I don't know what I'm going to do with so many avocados. And also I got to plant it in a place where it doesn't go into the neighbor's property, like the big one here. Okay, hold on, let me throw these out real quick. See, I guess you can see the fence is where our property starts or whatever. And then as you can see, we have to, I'm gonna try to do myself. I gotta trim all of that over there. I try to trim on top of the roof as much as possible. That way we don't get damage to the roof again. Alright, so now let's water these. Oh, and I also want to show you the other two that we have. One is another avocado tree, but I'm going to show them all to you. I'm going to try to show them all to you today. It's an avocado tree, but it's a Haas type, which mom planted it. It's already looking pretty nice. I don't like these things here. It just feels like it's taking, I mean, I know it has a little companion, but I want to be able to have all the root system all there. I know she also planted other things there too. She told me to water it before, but why would you put that there? I asked her, she said it was mangoes. I used that for a nursery temporarily. And these right here are limes. Yup, yeah, limon. Limon would be lime. Lemon would be lemon. Okay, so yeah, these are limes. Here, right here. What is this? Oh, this is part of a banana. Let's take that out. Let's kind of help it grow. All right. So let's keep that trash here for now. All right. So let's get to watering. Let's start in the front. I already had it on me pre-made before I started. Here's the Haas avocado. We don't have a name for it yet. We just call it Haas for now. The other two that mom said she allegedly planted. I don't see anything coming out though. She also mentioned that they didn't grow properly. Let's go over to the lime. I did water it up a little bit earlier with this water that mom had made. It was water mixed with banana peels. She says that I guess the nutrients or whatever from the banana peels help the, sorry, accidentally hit the volume button. All right. And now for the remainders. The kings of the shows, if you will. Now that we live in a monarchy, we can start saying king again. King Messi, of course. Here's the baby. I also did put a little bit of water in there with the banana mixture. Here is the 22nd. Here is, I mean, the top of it looks good. Look at all the new leaves. In spite of the fact that it was kind of hit with, I don't know, a plague or some kind of insects. There's some new leaves right there too, but you see how it has holes in some plants, and that plant is a little discolored. It's got holes in this plant too. All over really. It looks like it got hit pretty bad, but I was using a natural insecticide, or I should just say it straight out, I was using caffeine, because caffeine is known to kill bugs if you're planting trees. And now over to our big boy, 7-Eleven. 7-Eleven is a beaut. Look how big she is. Look, there's new, if you can, I can zoom out, there's new leaves coming out still on top. It's got the 3 trunks. This trunk over here, obviously is separated a little bit because I put that cord in the middle now. Maybe I should put it in the front for a little bit, or maybe just the back for a little bit. It looks like there's a dead leaf over there. Anyway, let's plant this water, this bad boy. Because there's also some other stuff that I want to get to show you guys. The other part that I don't really show that much. All right, let me put this back in this place real quick. Dad always tells me don't run, and he's right. There's no point in being in a rush. You're just gonna end up making a mistake somewhere, forgetting something somewhere. But sometimes I like to run, even though it's not necessary. All right, now we're on the side of the house, and look what we're first met with. This right here is a cassava plant that was properly planted. As you can see, there's really no trunk, because we planted it correctly this time. Look, with the cassavas, you can tell that, you know, look, they got like the red sort of branches, and even the trunk is, I wonder when this will be ready to mature. Is the bottom of the trunk the same color? No, actually no, the bottom of the trunk is brown, and it turns up until it gets up here, it's green. But you can see where the difference is. It's like greenish up here. Let's see if I can get a good zoom. And then it turns brown eventually at the bottom. This is the biggest one, by the way. We got a whole row of them right here. This is one. This is another one. These are supposed to be watered every day, by the way. This one's probably as big as, no, this was a little bit bigger. Yeah, look, that one's a little bit bigger. Then we got this one, it's bigger than this one. To see the bottom of the trunk, if it's brown, yep, it's brown. As you can see, it's got kind of like two trunks almost. Let's see if it starts turning green. Yep, it does. It starts turning green. So look, you can see it's brown, the trunk, and then up here starts turning green. Maybe when the top of the trunk starts turning brown, that's when we can take it. We can, you know, pull the roots out, or the yucca. And then as we go down the line, they keep getting smaller. I don't know if it has to do with the sun, the way the sun comes down, the ones in the front get more sun, or what. Another one, here's a smaller one. Here's a, look at this one. This you would think this is the run to the litter, but it is not. And look, see this right here? These are weeds. We can pull these off without hurting the tree. That's what I try. That's what I do most of the time. Usually I wear gloves, and instead of raking the leaves, these dead leaves, I'm an idiot. I pull them out, but I take them out by hand, which essentially I don't think I'm doing too bad of a job. I mean, you still do see them on the ground, but trust me, it was way worse before. So see, I take them out by hand like a fool. My little homemade contraption to open this from the inside, and into the garbage bin we go. All right, now watering these trees are a little different because we have a hose right there. The hose right now, it is actually installed into the pump for the sprinklers, because we had to prime it. So let me take this off. These things are so much harder with just one hand. And also thinking about GoPros, I don't know how good the quality of them are. I would imagine they're just as good as an iPhone, because all it is just a camera. The iPhone is supposed to be a camera and a phone. Alright, but anyways, before I continue to water it, let me show you guys. Hey look, we're adding carbon to the atmosphere just so we can feel comfortable inside the house. How nice is that? Okay, this right here is the last cassava plant. Now this is really the runt. Let's see, do we have any brown on the bottom of it? It's kind of hard to see. Really no brown. Wait, can you see right there? Yeah, I don't really think oh wait, maybe I do. Oh, it wants to turn brown. It's like a dark green. Those are all roots. I was actually thinking today of getting this done. You see that mountain of weeds? I want to try to start pulling them all off, all along the backyard. That's the pool which you guys see, and that's where I shoot, right over there, where I showed you guys the beautiful sky of today. All right, now let's get to watering these babies without me getting too wet. The iPhone's supposed to be like an XB67 or something, so it could get a little wet. All right, here we go. Let's try to do this. Let's get ready. Hold the water. Because believe me, once I turn that water on, it's gonna start coming, baby. Now to get to the run, it's a little difficult. I gotta try to do this. There. Now it's kind of reaching out there. But you see why it's the run? It barely hits it. I can do a little bit better. There. I don't know if you can see like the actual plant getting hit by the water. And as I'm doing this, I'm also watering our big avocado tree as well. And I can feel water going down my leg. Alright, let's water the big avocado tree. Look at the size of those roots. Alright, that should be enough by now. Oh, actually, one more thing I wanted to show you guys. So, well, I don't know, my finger was on the lens, sorry. One more thing I wanted to show you guys. So, let's go ahead and turn this baby off. Alright, so, cassava, check. Alright, now let me show you the other tree that we have. Alright, everyone. For the last one, we have to come back to where actually, if not most, all of them started. The kitchen. This is one of my sanctuaries because I spend a lot of time here. And one thing I've been loving to do lately is this. One day, I really wanted some s'mores, but I didn't have the graham crackers. So instead, what I did, I put a half of a Hershey's milk-sized bar with some marshmallows. I buy the generic brand. In a bowl, you know, I put marshmallows on the bottom. I try to smush them down. Then I put the half of the milk chocolate bar, and on top I try to put marshmallows that I have to smush in the bag. That when I pull them out, they're kind of smushed. And I put it in the microwave 30 seconds, and after that, in my opinion, it's probably better than s'mores, because s'mores come out messy. This comes out messy too. I eat it with a spoon, but it's deadly. I love it. So this is our final tree. I think that's what it looks like when it's in a seed form. This is a mango tree, and obviously it's very young, still inside our home or kitchen. I guess Mama Vilma, the queen, watered it recently, as you can tell from that, which gotta be cleaned. Look at those ants. Oh, look how life thrives. So yeah, that's it. The mango tree. I'm not gonna water it because I think Mama Vilma already did. And that's it. That's our collection for now. Anybody has any suggestions? I know my better half did once, but we still haven't gone to Publix to see. Meant to say Home Depot. I'm gonna try to start a little garden on the front with like flowers and stuff like that. That's what we're trying to kill the grass out there. All right, everyone. Thank you very much for watching this real YouTuber. Okay, and may peace and love be with every one of you. Thanks very much. Bye.